That's obviously too high. So I'm here to talk about my experience with my husband, our first journey on a long haul flight with our 6-month-old son. Our destination was from Manila to Paris, and from Manila we will have a stopover in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong to Paris. So first, we arrived at the airport at an hour before our flight. So it's 6:55 and our flight is 7:55. There was a huge line in I guess that put a bit of a relief in our hearts that we are not absolutely late, and all these people are late as well. So it was a little bit cranky for the baby at first because it was already nighttime. It was 6:55 and our flight was 7:55, so that's around his little evening nap time, or sometimes his sleeping time. It really depends on him. So we ran to our gate, and because we had a little bit of a problem with our ticket because I had recently got married and etc., and my name wasn't changed exactly yet on my passports. Long story. Anyway, moving forward, we are at the gate. We were actually, I believe, the last ones to board before the plane even flew off the ground. We were just settling down and really just decided to sleep, and that was a godsend because my biggest fear upon flying the first time with my child is how I'm going to handle his ears popping or pressurizing or whatever you call it. But he just slept, and that was a godsend. I was so relieved. We had an hour and a half layover. There's my husband. So really just peed on me and peed all over his pants, so I had to change his clothes. But first flight success, he slept through it, departure and arrival. So yep, transferring to Paris. So when we arrived there, we changed his diaper, clothes, then we went to our terminal gate and we got some coffee. We stayed there for about 15 to 20 minutes until we boarded. And of course, when you have a baby, and you're pregnant or senior, you get to have priority. We got there first. The problem was I got to sit where the bassinet is. My husband had to sit behind me because that was the only available seat. So that really put a pressure on me because there was a couple next to me, and we were hoping that we could ask one of them to move so that my husband could sit next to me. But there are a couple, so of course I just told my husband, let's just deal with this for the next 12 to 13 hours. He actually fell asleep. So that would actually be his nighttime sleeping time. So let's say he fell asleep in Manila time at 8 o'clock and he woke up around 10 or 11 p.m. Was awake for an hour. He was in a good mood. When we got on the plane, he fell asleep in my arms while I was nursing him. That was a breeze too, because I was worried when his ears would pop and he would be in pain because he would just cry, I'm sure. And he fell asleep upon departure. That was another godsend, and he was asleep for a while. During the flight of itself, he was a bit clingy. He knew he wasn't at home. He knew he was somewhere else in a whole different universe, and all he wanted to do was just sleep on me or my husband. He
did not want to sleep on the bassinet. He would last for about 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I wouldn't know. I didn't really keep track of time, but maybe 30 minutes to 45. But then he would be angsty and he would just cry. So, of course, we didn't want to disturb our neighbors because that's actually sleeping time. We just had to carry him. There were times he would still be uncomfortable because he's used to just being sprawled out in the bed or rolling over in the bed, and he just didn't have his freedom because he had to be on us, or yeah, just on us. He woke up for a good 2 hours. He was just playing. He is discovering his vocal cords. He would sometimes scream, like scream out of excitement. So I guess that wasn't as bearing on us being embarrassed. If you tell yourself that you should not care if people get annoyed with a baby, because I mean, it's normal that they cry or make noises and disturb others, but you know, when you're in the situation, it's really a mental game for you and your spouse to, there he is, to deal with feeling embarrassed. But in the end, you really just have to tell yourself, no, this is normal, this is human nature. It really happens. They're just gonna have to deal with it. If they don't like it, then, well, getting upset's just not gonna help us parents, especially new parents, and being first time to fly with a baby and his first time ever flying. That's a tip for new parents, to fly with your baby. I was prepared with a teether, and I also brought this. It's oxo. Not sure how you pronounce this, but it's a pacifier where you could put fruits in it, and it has holes in it so that when he bites on it, juices come out. So I had this during the flight. Sometimes they would have fruit cups, and you know, I put melon inside. So that was one of the things that I put. And now he is calling for me. Hold on. Oh. Okay. Here's my son. Hi. Okay. He cried about 3 to 4 times during the flight, but it was very short because I already know what he wants, and my husband does too. Yes, he agrees. He just wants to be cuddled, he wants to be played with, he wants attention and hugs. So that was about it, but I can't promise you sleep. I had like an hour of sleep or 30 minutes and scattered all over through 12 to 13 hour flight, so that was a bit difficult. After the flight, I was very exhausted, and my husband too. He didn't get much sleep. We would take turns and tag team, and there were times where he would just want to be with me because he wants to nurse, and of course that was just a way to also calm him down, keep him quiet, and make sure everything's comfortable for him. He was very friendly to the flight attendants. They loved him. Also, another answered prayer was he fell asleep upon landing, and he liked flying, I guess. Or flying just made him really tired.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Paris. It is a safety requirement that you remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the seatbelt sign has been turned on. Please be careful when opening the overhead compartments, as items inside may fall out. Kindly take all your belongings with you when leaving the aircraft. For the information of passengers taking our codeshare train service with PGV.
So my tip is to always bring extra clothes for those accidents. Know your baby well. Go with your instinct. Bring extra diapers, wipes, and towels for him, and take lots of pictures and videos during the flight as a memory. Even if he cries, she cries a lot. I mean, something to remember. Flight attendants are very attentive to you, and they will take care of you for whatever you need. What also helped distract my baby was they have movies on the plane, and they have kids and cartoons, and they love colors, so that's what I played, and sometimes he would just stare at it, you know. It's really a mental game. Be prepared. We brought his stroller and car seat. That's free. When you can even bring it up to the door of the plane, because that's allowed. They can't deny you of that. We also bring his carrier. Ours is an Ergo Baby 360 mesh. That was just an easy tool to have in Hong Kong when we had to transfer gates, because we didn't get our stroller that time. We didn't request for it. We just said, no, it's okay. We have a carrier. We will just get the stroller once we arrive in France. Oh, he just likes seeing himself. He thinks it's a mirror. Overall, I would say I'm pretty lucky that he was behaved. Good job, baby. I'm so proud of you. Mommy's so proud of you. That's it for now. This is our current flat in France. It's an Airbnb. I will give a tour of this, I guess, soon. Oh my god! Excuse me. Bye!
So we got a service to pick us up. Pala naman, he does not speak English. Pinoy. Yeah, and it feels good. Si Kuya, ang sarap pala salita ng Tagalog when you're in a different country, when you're away from home. Okay pa.